All right, today we're back. It is April 25th and it is 70 degrees out. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be going through the hives, just checking the status of the hives. We're looking for drone brood, the queen, and queen cells, any signs of them wanting to swarm, anything like that. So I'm gonna get my gloves on and then we'll get right into it.
This hive overwintered as a 2 deep, so we're gonna see. We haven't done a full hive check on them yet this year. We've done resource checks and whatnot, but today's a good day to get in here and really see what's going on.
And the bees coming in the entrance right now are completely packed full of pollen, so that's a very good sign.
That is empty of resources and no drones. Got a little bit of honey on one side. Empty queen cups. They do practice making those through the year. There's still a nice amount of honey on that one, and we do have brood on the next frame. It looks like all worker brood, but we'll see once we get into it. That's a decent pattern to it.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Couple drone cells there at the bottom. And brood on that side as well. A little bit of drone comb at the bottom. I don't see her, do you?
I do not. She's marked though, right? All of them are marked now.
Yeah, they're all marked now. When I pull this one, check the next one for her.
No, well.
Ooh, that one's sticky. Oh, I busted a bunch of larvae.
I can't check the next one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
So we've got a fair amount of drone brood going on in the bottom of that hive. That's good. And there's, I don't know if you can see that, but there's eggs all through that. So that's great. That means we have a laying queen. We do have drone brood, and there's some that I made a mess of in there, but they'll get that mess out of there. So one of the things that that our mentor has indicated is when you start seeing purple-eyed drones in the comb, which is what that is right there, then you can split safely because they're almost developed. It does take them time to sexually mature after they hatch. So that right there is a perfect indicator of when it's safe, depending on your area, to start splitting. So we can safely do splits today if we choose to do so. And I want to get a look through here and see what they've got going on. They were in the corner of this hive over winter, so it does not surprise me at all that that's where she's still laying. I wish she was more towards the center, but we'll rearrange as need be. I want to see. I'm trying to get a count on how many brood frames we have in here. So we had 2 so far. I want to see what they've got going on in the bottom. We're going to get this off of here just because it makes a mess later. They start laying in that, and you start trying to pop frames loose. It just becomes a nightmare. That one's completely empty. And I think this end is as well. These ones didn't get drawn out last fall. I've got a little bit going on that one, nothing significant. They are just starting. The dandelions are just starting to bloom here. So we haven't had a good nectar flow yet. We'll be getting into that in the next week or two. So we've got 3 frames empty. We've got 2 frames of brood so far. Not heavy on resources, but they're not super light either. What are we doing, girls? I'm just trying to double check, see if the queen's on there. And I don't see her. I would normally scrape drone comb off. This time of year though, I really want them to make some drones. So normally they don't breed within their own bee yard as far as where their range goes when a queen goes to breeding. But it does increase the odds, so we'll leave them, and it is good for feral bees in the area also. So I'm gonna leave that drone comb as is. There we go. Okay. Move this box over and see what we've got in the second box. I'm going to start on that end because that frame looks empty.
Okay.
And they'll get drawn, these, now that nectar flow has started. There's a few working on it. And come on. That one's empty. I've been chewing on that a little bit. That side's still got some honey on it. Honey from workers. And that one's still pretty much covered about halfway with honey. No signs of brood yet. And that one's pollen. You can see all the pollen in that one about halfway down the frame, which is great. Which means we should have brood on the next frame because they usually keep them close together, and we do. So we've got a nice patch of brood. She's still laying really pretty. They've got pollen packed around her. There's larvae. There's eggs. So that's frame number 3 with brood. Not totally covered.
But there's a queen. There you go. We found the queen on this one, so that's good.
We're gonna put her back in. They have got a lot of drone brood going on this one. And we're just gonna make sure there's no queen cups going on here. That's drone brood there off to the side. Queen cups will go downward. Drone brood will go outward. And we've got a good patch there. They've got some drone brood at the top. They've got this one's all brood too. Come on, girls. Some good patches going. So she's been busy. And we have drone, or right, brood on the next one too, I think. You're in charge of counting the next one because I lost count. I think that was 5. This one's pretty empty. There's pollen and some honey on the outside. Again, that's normal. They want that around that brood chamber, and the last frame is completely undrawn. So we're probably going to split this hive in about 2 weeks once the dandelions really start going. She's laying nicely. They've got the ability to sustain themselves. I would like to let the population get up a little bit more before we start splitting on this one. So, which one was she on? Right there. Okay. So I'm happy with the way this hive's looking. They're not quite where I would want to be to do a split, but everything looks great. So we're going to button this one up and move on to the next one. Okay, and we're going into what we call mean and green. Last year these girls were a little testy when you opened the box. So we're going to see what they're looking like. They've got a deep and a medium on them. That's what they overwintered with. And I want to see what this is looking like. Wow. Okay, so the residue of the pollen patty left on the top, we're going to get that out of there. They've got natural pollen. They're not going to do a whole lot of touching this anymore for what they will eat of it. There's enough other resources out there. So I can smell it though.
You can smell it?
Yeah, I can smell the hive.
Oh.
I may put an entrance reducer on there if she's down the bottom to get her back down in there.
Okay.
And get this medium off. Let's see what it looks like the brood situation. That one's still got honey on it. Almost completely. This one's empty. This one's full. And with this much, oh wow, they still have a ton of honey. I don't want them to get honey bound, and so we may end up moving this box. That's honey. That's honey. That's about half, 3/4. What I'm probably going to do is I'll end up pulling this, spin it, and feed it back so I can get my frames back for stuff, for actual honey, because this was late season honey. It was during feeding, so I cannot harvest this for consumption because it's partially sugar water. So we do have a little bit of brood on that one. I'm going to put the entrance reducer on this, or not the entrance reducer, the queen excluder. Get her down the bottom, get the brood off of the honey super frames. There's another frame of brood here, I think.
If there's a queen.
Okay.
So we found the queen on this one again. So
you want to catch her? I want to put her in the bottom.
oh shit.
I'm gonna roll it. Get her?
Yep.
Okay.
There's the queen. We got her. Hopefully she can't get out of there. I don't think she's pretty hefty.
Set her on top. And there's more brood on that one. So they're doing good. We're in north central Pennsylvania. This is normal for us for this time of year. So I'm not real concerned. Some people further south would say, wow, that's not very much brood, but
Give me a run and get an excluder.
there should be one right there. I'm gonna break this loose. Keep that out of my way because I'm gonna move this queen and all.
Yeah.
I did not see any drone brood in this hive. This hive is Italians. The other ones are Carnies. So these ones are a little later starting, which is fine. That may be why we're not seeing drone brood in here yet. But then again, we may get some down the bottom. So they're packing in a little bit of nectar there. Let's see what we got going on. Wow, that one's full. This one's feels pretty light. Yeah. About half. They've got some nectar in there. I think I might need to throw. That may be why she's laying up top, is because they've still got a ton of resources in here. They're packing in down there. So they're putting nectar in the bottom. They've got the queen in the top. That one's empty, except on the sides. So we're probably going to put her on that frame unless something changes. That one looks good too, as far as the potential. That one's really good, actually. That one's empty. This is where the brood chamber was in fall. You can see there are a few dead bees there. I have not cleaned those out. They are packing a lot of pollen into this frame. So there's a little section on the other side too, but I'm not real worried about that. Come on, girls. And honey on that one. Well, there's no brood in the bottom here at all, so we really need. Last time we tried to get her down to this bottom box, we let her out of the queen clip and she flew to the front box, or to the top box. So that'll kind of give you a little bit of a fright, but okay. I'll reverse that. Come on, girls. You ready with that queen excluder? 'Cause she's the one that flew away last time. Alright, she's down in. Oh. Okay. Put her back together.
Smoke? No.
Looking good. Oh, where's my perch? empty. And this one's empty. Well, they're drawing on it. These hives were fairly late splits last season, so some of new hit them. They didn't draw out to some of the frames completely, and we have brood on the next frame.
And drone.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're making a mess of that cone though.
Yeah, they are. You want to smoke them again, please? You're gonna. This one's a little testy, so you're gonna have to.
Let me get on the other side.
Just keep ready. Oh wow, they've got these all stuck together. That's a beautiful pattern. I don't see her.
There's a drone.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks awesome. They've got some spots in here where they've got pollen interspersed. I don't see her, do you?
No.
Okay, I gotta get rid of that brood off the bottom, unless you want to scrape it while I hold it, because I don't know where she is. Okay, may I have my tool back, please? And again, that's almost an entire frame. They've got it all the way out to the ends, which is really nice. And this side as well. That's a gorgeous laying pattern.
Check the cups on the bottom. Make sure there's nothing in there.
I can't see, can you?
No, they're clean.
Okay. And we've got this frame's hatching out. One in there. They've got a good amount of pollen interspersed there. We've got some larvae, we've got some brood. There's a lot of pollen in this frame. You're gonna have to smoke them again. And that side again, completely brood. I don't know if you can see, there's larvae there. There's eggs all through there. I don't see her. That one's got pollen on that side. We've got a queen cup on the bottom that is.
Right there's a queen.
Where's she at?
Right there.
Okay. Gently. Got her? Okay.
And she's a big one.
Yeah, she is. And they're drawing this frame out. We've got that side drawn. We've got this one drawn. This is all, looks like fresh comb. Yeah, it is. That's a nice comb. All right, we're gonna put this back together. If this bottom box looks like this top box, I'm gonna split it.
Go.
So we have taken the box with the queen, a few frames of brood, and moved her to location 2, which she was in location 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're about, I don't know, 10, 15 feet apart now, which you want them at least a little ways apart so that the foragers don't end up going back to the queen and you lose all your bees. She'll immediately start laying back in here and we'll be fine. But we're gonna get her in here and button her up and we'll be good to go. This one doesn't have a top entrance, but I'm not real worried about that right now. Okay, so get her onto a brood frame, and down she went. She's gone. So that is what is called a walk-away split. You take the queen, you take some brood, you take some resources, and you walk it to a new location. She will be fine. That hive over there, which is the original, we will check for queen cups in a couple of days, and once we see them, then that hive doesn't get touched for a few weeks. You don't want to mess with queen cells. It's just not worth the risk.
All right, and I figured I'd get a close-up. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but we got a bunch of bees bringing in pollen. You see some there. It doesn't get close-up views very well, but they're packing it full pretty good, so.
Okay, so this was the overwintered nuke that we purchased. I just gave them a box last week, so we're gonna see how they're doing. They did have a feeder on them still, so that's why we've got some sugar ants up in the top. And we're gonna see how they're drawing on that second box. And see what they're doing in the first one. So I can pretty much tell by looking in here. I've got this one's empty, this one's empty. This one they're just starting to draw on. This one looks like they're starting to draw on. Yeah. So they've got a little bit of drawing going on. If there's anybody on anything, it's going to be this one right here. And it's empty. I can tell by the feel of it. This one was actually a frame that was already drawn. So we're going to pull this box off and see what's going on down the bottom. This was the overwintered nuke, and they have got bees everywhere. So I did give them drawn comb when we set them up, so that did give them an advantage. Frame perch. We do have them spaced at 9 because of the way that the overwintered nuke was set up. They needed the extra room, and that one's got honey on the back side, which was already on that frame. It's got some nectar starting on this side. I'm getting bumped. They're not attempting to sting me. They're just kind of letting me know that they don't like me being in here. And we've got some nectar going on that one. Good amount of pollen down the bottom of that one. And then we're going to get into the frames that were part of the nuke. So we've got nectar and pollen going into that one. That one's pretty much.
There's the queen.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we found our last queen, so that's a very good thing. And she seems to be laying pretty well. That next one seems to have a really good brood pattern going on.
Oh yeah, that's gorgeous.
Show it to the camera.
We're just gonna make sure there's no queen cups in here and we're gonna get out. A little bit of drone brood going on. Brood, pollen, more brood, drone larvae, cells. That one's pretty light. Oh wow, she's laying great. A lot of these that aren't capped do have larvae in them. What do we got going on the bottom there? Nothing.
No.
Okay. We check the bottoms of the frames because quite often if they're going to swarm, that's where they will build the queen cups, and we don't want to see that. And we've got brood on that one. They don't have a lot of honey in this one at all. I am gonna definitely put some sugar in that rapid round. Some 1-to-1. So at least they're getting something. And that's it, guys. That looks great. I'm really happy with her laying. She's got what, 5 frames of brood there?
Yeah.
They do need more nectar, so we're gonna put the feeder back on this. That'll get them drawing that top box out and give them the resources they need until we hit full dandelion bloom. So,
is that it?
that's it for today. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in Hoover hives or anything from Galena Farms, if you need boxes or frames or anything of that nature, visit their website and you can use promo code BVHoney for Bennett's Valley Honey Company. That's all caps, and that'll save you 5%. So have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching, and feel free to like, subscribe, comment. Questions are always welcome, and we'll see you again soon.